Alrighty, how's it going, guys? Cornflakers here from CPG Gaming. Going to be doing this StarCraft 2 match for you versus Zimmerman and Seedsy. Alrighty, we're getting underway here. We have Zimmerman playing the Zerg and Seedsy playing the Protoss. The GLHFs going down by both sides. Now, this is the first game of the Best of 3 series. Cornflakers from CPG Gaming shoutcasting the StarCraft 2 match of the Algoma Games, Activities, Media and Entertainment Club from Algoma University up here in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada. If you're watching from anywhere else, thanks for coming out. We appreciate it. Just taking a quick chuckle here at the banter going between both teams. Zimmerman and Seedsy going back and forth like a seesaw of verbal harassment. And Zimmerman with that Overlord just coming to do a little bit of scouting. Seedsy dropping the pylon out there to get the early warp gate, or the early whatever builds the zealots there for the Protoss units. Seedsy finding Zimmerman's base quite early. Zimmerman sending a probe to go say, hey, what's up? And we see the Forge there. Perhaps a fast expand from Seedsy. Is playing that Zerg player, so probably going to be working on getting up the wall just to make sure. And actually nothing going down in Zimmerman's base. We have seen Seedsy's tactic to go around and build the photon cannon, so that's why we probably saw the early Forge there from the Protoss player to get that early harass to make sure he has no ability whatsoever for the Zergling to take that early expo. And that probe is going to have to be kept alive here if he wants to successfully complete this, because the Forge is down, the gateway is down, a pylon going here by the base to connect these two together, providing maximum build area, a spawning pool going down for the Zerg player, an extractor going up for Zimmerman. That probe's still alive, thank goodness, because it is getting close. The probe only having 9 HP, the drone sitting at 21. This gateway coming up, going to be pumping out zealots. The drone sees this and is just letting it go on like nothing even matters. And no research currently being done by Seedsy. No research currently being done by Zimmerman. We'll be pumping out the Zergs, potentially. Got that hatchery down. Got those pylons there by Seedsy. A fantastic play to get that. We will definitely be seeing a photon cannon go down right there. There we see the drop. The Zerg units cannot get to the photon cannon. This makes me smile, Seedsy. Your tactics are always a treat to watch. Kudos to you, good sir. Kudos to you. So while the Zerg will be trying to take down that photon cannon, let's go take a quick look at what's happening. We do see that photon cannon still building there in the bottom. Hatchery spawning a queen. Let's see if this hatchery will pop up. The photon cannon does pop up and will be attacking that hatchery. Actually, this probe will try and get out of here. Probably drop down a protective probe in front would probably be a great idea. Dropping a couple along the side to make it a bit harder to access that photon cannon. Seedsy, while dropping this, actually increases his supply, so that's good for him that he gets that early supply. And as we can see here from the resources, Zimmerman there with a little bit of gas advantage. Seedsy yet to build a reactor on top of those gas. Seedsy defending that Zerg rush really well by pulling the Protoss units off the supply line and coming to stop them from being able to swarm the Zealot that he had there. And with that photon cannon, probably wouldn't have done a lot of damage anyways. We got that cybernetics core going down. We'll be probably building stalkers or something of the sort to protect against these Zergling units. Zimmerman here, very experienced player with the Zerg. Wonder what he's going to do in terms of oh, he sits down the spine crawler and starts attacking the pylon. Perfect counter to a perfect early game, early expansion block, I guess you could say, by Seedsy. Fantastic play by Zimmerman to get that spine crawler down and destroy the pylon. the pylon and the probe. Perhaps it destroyed the probe, I'm not 100% sure. That photon cannon get a little bit of damage on the spine crawler. Probably going to try and macro that spine crawler, or micro that spine crawler around to get that other pylon. We can just assume that that will happen. And let's check out what Seedsy's building. Seedsy getting a couple of zealots here and there all around the square. Still waiting to get those dual assimilators. Reactors, I assume, is the Terran one. Got those dual assimilators going on, harvesting the gas as you should. Twilight Council coming down for the High Templars, or sorry, not the High Templars, for the upgrades for the ground units, and which might be needed here. We do have a couple of Zerglings coming over just to check things out from Zimmerman. Zimmerman not popping that hatchery down yet, still waiting to expand the creep so he can get over to that pylon. And with that creep dropping, pardon me ladies and gentlemen, with that creep dropping, probably is going to be able to get it. And more than likely, the bird is the word. So we have the gateway pumping out zealots. How many zealots have we got there? We got about 4 zealots sitting there. And I wonder what the harvesters are up to. And we have 22 Zerg harvesters to the 33 Protoss harvesters. We do see Seedsy slightly with the lead in resources. It's pretty much even down the line. Seedsy sending these zealots down, doesn't really realize that there are those Zerglings right in his base. Kind of just pumping there on the forge, trying to get it down a bit, do as much damage as possible from the Zerg player. Do we finally see that hatchery coming down? We saw that pylon get destroyed, and will the hatchery be dropping, or will he be sending in units to try and null and void any potential resurgence from those photon cannons? We will have to stay tuned and see. Twilight Council increasing, allowing the zealots to intercept nearby enemies, also increasing the movement speed. Yes, I am aware, my dear gents. We have that second expansion coming down by Seedsy before the Zerg player expands. That's going to be definitely beneficial for Seedsy in terms of increased production. Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen, allowing him to tech up, but we do have these roaches coming in. Seedsy does cancel the production of that Nexus just in case the roaches wanted to take away the hard-earned minerals Seedsy spent to put that down. We do have a couple of probes still mining that, so that will probably get destroyed in the process. A couple of gateways dropping just for that increased zealot production. That forge researching the upgraded armor on the ground units, and we are going to see here that there is that dual hatchery, probably going to be a trip hatchery taking out those photon cannons. We do see that hatchery coming down right there, and there it is being built. So fantastic for that. Seedsy trying to drop that Nexus again. Hopefully all goes well this time around. And dual extractors, Roach Warren, Evo Chamber. Wonder if we're going to be researching anything. Yes, we are. We're doing the ground units, upgrading the armor of those ground units. I do believe that accounts for the roaches as well, which will be fantastic because the range on those roaches will be able to, like roaches in the back line behind the Zerglings, will be able to do more damage to the Zealots than the Zealots will be able to do in general, even though the Zealots do have a higher armor base. They have a higher damage base. 18 damage being done by the roaches, and 9 damage being done by the Zealots. So, there you have it, pretty much that Nexus going up. Will these roaches come up? No, they will not. They will just stay there and destroy the Zealots. Seedsy trying to out-micro Zimmerman here. It's going to be tough. We finally get that third expo, or the third base, technically, but the first expansion in terms of accessing those minerals. And we do have a roach taking down that photon cannon. Thought we might have an early Hydralisk. Silly me for thinking that. The Roach Warren researching upgrades. Seedsy with that base. Will he be able to protect it, or will it drop to those roaches? We are not 100% sure. Seedsy, unfortunately, unable. We do have a fantastic micro here of those 3 hatcheries. Seedsy finally getting those zealots out, much needed in an anticipated hurry. We have another zealot warping in here. We'll be able to take out those roaches. We are all fine on the Western Front. In terms of that Nexus, we'll be alive to see another probe production. Just taking a quick look at the minerals here. Zerg up by a couple hundred minerals, up by a couple hundred gas, and up by a couple harvesters as well. They do both have that second base. They do both have those pylons down. I'm not 100% sure if those assimilators need a pylon to run, because it is just right outside the range of that pylon. So warping in those the sentries. Oh, fantastic! So we have the sentries there to drop those blocks of blockageness, those giant like hexagonal walls, I guess you could say. Definitely a very good. And they also got a little bit of range damage on them. They're not too crazy on the damage. 7 damage per. And we have a roach attack coming in. Seedsy might want to call the extractor because it does. Call the extractor. Seedsy might want to call the exterminator because it looks like he has a serious case of roaches. Terrible jokes. Like the video for terrible jokes. Alrighty, so we do have the zealots coming around back. Just trying to get the swarm there on the Zerg player. And roaches we can see with that range. Warping in the zealots there. Fantastic play. I have no idea why I'm so currently tired. This game is certainly not the one that is boring. Hatchery going down, trip hatcheries, maybe that'll excite me, maybe that'll wake me up, who knows. We have that battle there by Seedsy. He null and voided that roach attack, so kudos to you for that. We do have dual overlords coming up to check things out. Another batch of roaches being built, just kind of loading them up on the side, preparing for either a defense or an attack on Seedsy. We do have that Archon coming up, Dual High Templar forming into that. So hopefully if we can get those Zealots microed properly, they can stay in the front of the line while the Archon stays behind and does a little bit of range damage to these roaches. And it looks like that is exactly what will be happening here. But the roaches will be retreating, trying to get the Protoss player to chase. Zerg turning around every now and then to burst down. Oh, the Zerg player burrowing, actually, trying to get a little bit of range on that Archon, but they won't now hear. Oh, that is just perfect microwave by Zimmerman to get that Archon down. Dual High Templar gone now. Roaches re-burrow, and they will probably stay there for a while until the Zealots are distracted by something else, and they'll pop up and just pick them off one by one. Roaches coming from every aspect, and this is just a mass right here in itself. This could be GG early on with these mass roaches. They do have pretty huge damage with 20 apiece, 2 armor, 3 move speed, and perhaps these probes going up here to build another base hasn't been signaled by Seedsy, but it could be something that we're seeing. Maybe taking the high pop resource place over here. It looks like they're actually just going to mine, which is probably not the best idea because this could be GG on the base. Dual Archons, burrowed roaches. Looks like they're just coming just to take down the Nexus. And the Archons are going to try and do as much damage as they can to these roaches. It'll be nice if they can contain these roaches in here, but the roaches will bury, get the Nexus down. And that'll be a big hit to Seedsy's mineral collection, production, distribution agency, so to say. Seedsy sitting there way behind in minerals, sitting around 360, while Zimmerman is sitting on a comfortable 1,400 minerals. 1,400 minerals. Yes, sir. It is Easter Saturday. After this game, I definitely want to get some dinner. I'm starving for some delicious turkey, or whatever will be made for dinner. Who knows? Like, comment on what you are having for your Easter dinner, and yeah, let me know. Maybe I'll make it. And a couple of warp gates, just a couple, eh? Seedsy calling the GG, realizing that there's nothing he can really do. I thought potentially he could have pulled something out, but we do see that all those minerals are gone. No Nexus up. What's the point? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Cornflakers from CPG Gaming, casting this StarCraft 2 match for you live from the Algoma Games Activities Media and Entertainment Club up here in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada, on planet Earth. Thanks for